Back to the Lovecraft eZine podcast. We're doing this at a special time on Monday instead of a Sunday. And I've got my friend and fellow panelist, Mike DeBronzo, with me.
Hello.
Um, and why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Eric is behind the King in Yellow Deluxe Edition. And Wojciech is behind the Cthulhu Mysteries Veins of Arkham. So let's start with you, Eric. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Eric from Norway. Um, Made a Kickstarter last year by accident almost for the Necronomicon, and then the new one this year for the King Yellow. And these are my two first Kickstarters. But I've been doing graphics for 25 years or so, making lots of handouts. We're both doing. Um, Made some books for autonomy and physiology classes for universities and so on. But this is the first large book project. Yeah.
Well, you're doing great. It's your Kickstarter for the King in Yellow Deluxe ends in how many days?
7 days.
10 days.
No,
Uh,
seven on the 24th.
Seven, I'm sorry. Uh, and you live in where again?
Just outside of Oslo in Norway.
Okay.
It's getting later.
I'm jealous. I would love to live in Denmark or Norway.
Yeah.
So, so,
It's,
okay, Wojciech, would you tell us about you?
Okay, I'm started this Kickstarter. This is my first one, but I have some experience with the Game Found, which my one of my company when we're doing the RPG systems, but not so famous like the Call of Cthulhu or the Dungeons and Dragons. But I have some experience with this, and I am now focusing on my single project when I tried some people and we want to how to say this show the ordinary people what is exactly Lovecraft. This mean this is not the horror movie or the scary movie, but this is something else beyond this because the pop culture for me little breaking this what they think about the Lovecraft and they think about the Great Cthulhu. Yeah?
Yeah.
And this is why I start this action. I think okay, if I like this, if I think I could understand what he wants to show us. Let's do this in property way. This is why I start this old projects and this game. This is comics and the scenario for the Call of Cthulhu. Then this is something bigger. What I think, and I think this was my mistake with the Kickstarter. Then I did too many things in one momentum. But madness is my call for now.
Well, I personally don't think it was a mistake, but I will tell you this. Wojciech has 3 days left, and I believe you're going to make it, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this today, because I want to get the word out to as many people as possible. Um, do you know who Sandy Peterson is? Call of Cthulhu creator.
Yeah,
Okay.
from how you met him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a friend of mine. He's a really great guy, and I'm sure you may have heard of Cthulhu Wars, this hugely successful game that he funded on Kickstarter. But what I'm getting at is right before that, he tried another Lovecraftian project and it failed. And then he revised some things, made it a board game, um, and I mean, it made millions of dollars. So never give up.
But I have the different thinkings because the money, of course, is important things, but sometimes we need to do something what we believe. And this is I always get into my project. I know I believe in my project, and I only want to show someone. Even this Kickstarter is not an part of the budget what I need for the game because we're doing this right now. This is something when we're trying to find the people who want to join to this journey with me and try to see some things what I believe I see in the first Lovecraft, but to Edgar Allan Poe, two
Yeah.
things, Even I start to remember to this today meetings where I start with this. And when I was youngest, 20 years ago, this I was writer of the poems and William Blake. I don't know if you.
Hmm.
And this was the start of this everything. And I always looking some things what can stick with me. Not is only scary or only give me 5 minutes some emotions, but would stick me, giving the thinking. Then I starting, the assembling everything and starting. What the hell is going with this? Or this is a story, or this is I don't know movie, even something like this. This I am focused on this.
Yeah.
What I trying now to creating for the people.
You're looking for things, if I understand you, and stories and so forth that make you feel deeply and make you think about things, and you want other people to go on that experience with you.
Exactly.
Okay, I should say to everyone watching now and later, we're going to give away some prizes, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's go back to Eric for a few minutes, and let's start from the beginning. Can you tell us about your project, The King in Yellow?
Uh, yeah. So the goal is basically to make a really nice collector's edition of the book, similar to what you can find at Folio Society, which is a fine print publisher.
Right.
Uh, you have publishers like Suntop that also makes these really gorgeous books. So that was basically the goal from the start, to make a proper collector's edition. And since, to my knowledge, there are no other versions of this book or a collector's edition like that. But for Lovecraft, for example, you have several fine print books. So
Yeah, yeah, you
yeah,
do.
wanted to do something new for the King Hill, and it's also a very important part in the Lovecraft mythos. I think as a character and a concept, it's something that everybody knows about and have some sort of relation with. Uh, yeah,
I have a
that was
question.
basically that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a question from the audience. What is the deluxe edition of the King in Yellow edition offer? What is it? What are
Uh,
the features?
so there are basically different tires. The interior text is the same. The illustrations are the same. So the artifact or limited edition tire is limited to 750 copies, and it also includes the script for the play, The King Yellow,
That's
um,
great.
as a
I love it.
booklet. I actually got the final sample is on its way to me right now, so I just got a short video of it earlier today, and it's starting to look pretty good.
That's great, man. So that's the top tier, the top edition.
Yeah.
What about the other two?
Well, yeah, the Codex edition, and that's kind of meant as the ordinary collector's edition. And we'll reprint that if needed. But the interior is the same, but it does not include the play. And in the beginning, I thought of including the play as an add-on for everybody. But after thinking about it, I feel that some of the power with the play is that it's not widely available. So there's some mystery surrounding it. So that's why it's only included in the limited edition. And then we also have the Binders edition, which is made by Loxley Books in the UK, which is a hand-bound full leather edition that also includes the play, which is limited to 10 copies.
Now
Oh yeah,
I posted for those watching now and later, I just posted the link to your Kickstarter in the side chat, but it's also in the show notes below, guys. All you got to do is just click down and you can get right to it. Right now I'm showing on my screen. It's not
yeah.
that
That's
big.
what I call the Codex edition. That's kind of the regular collector's edition,
Awesome.
uh, and the paper and the interior is the same, but it does not include the play, and the cover is different.
Okay.
And it's also delivered in a clamshell slipcase, while the codex is delivered in an ordinary slipcase that you can see if you
I really,
scroll a bit down.
I really like the art a
Yeah,
lot. I like this right here a lot.
from
The back cover.
Byung Lee, a South Korean artist that made the cover art. So
Oh, that's great. And then, so which edition is this one on the screen?
yeah, that's the slipcase for the codex edition, and it's
Okay.
hand marbled paper from a woman named Jessica, also in the UK, and it's the same design that is used for the end sheets in the binders edition. So it's exactly the exact same design.
That's this is really incredible. And this is this the
Yeah,
uh
that's the limited edition, and
okay.
the goal there was to try to recreate the cover from the first edition, third printing, which is called the Neely edition.
Right.
So it's black cloth and then gold and red foil.
Um well, I want to ask you two things. Right now, the first thing is the second thing is that which prizes you're giving away. But the first thing is what moved you to begin this project? How does the King in Yellow speak to you, and what excites you about it?
It was because my project last year was I never meant to start publishing books, but then people started asking me, so what will be your next book? And
That's great.
um,
Man of the success.
yeah,
Hmm.
and it I decided quite early that if I want to make a new book, it needs to be a very high quality with the materials that you use, and it needs to offer something new. So, for example, with the King L, you could offer the play, the entire play. So that was basically the reason why I wanted to do the King Yellow. And also, as I said before, there are no other kind of fine print collector's edition that I've found. But for Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, there are so many collector's editions out there. So if you
Yes.
come out with a new one, you don't really bring anything new to the table. Um, but yeah, I really wanted to showcase this book in a nice edition. So that was the main goal.
Well, so far, you said you have 7 days left. So far, you've made three times, more than three times the amount that you asked for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people are really loving this.
Mm.
So,
It's a nice. We have a few other ideas as well, and by funding on this level, it kind of gives us the opportunity to start talking to artists and creating samples for future projects as well. So it's a really good base for continuing producing books like this. So yeah.
well, you had one or two ideas that you briefly expressed to me in an email about the prizes that you wanted to give away uh,
Hmm.
for viewers. So, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so we'll want to give away one version of the Codex and one version of the Artifact Edition.
Okay.
Uh, and it will be delivered in the same batch as the Kickstarter backers, so in
Oh,
April, May
nice,
next year. Mhm.
nice. For such a deluxe, limited, fine print editions, that's not too long to wait, really. That's coming up in 6 months.
Yeah,
So,
but we already spent, in addition to the Kickstarter, we spent $12,000 so far on illustrations and design and samples and things like that. So we're actually it's more or less the project itself is more or less complete. We just need to print it, and I'm currently working on refining the script based on the feedback from Kenneth and Pete that I got
oh yeah,
a few weeks ago. So
they
I'm
both
more or
really know their
less,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. It was really good feedback. So I've spent the last weeks trying to refine the script based on what they said. And I'm pretty happy with the script, and also a bit nervous about releasing it and getting people's feedback on it because this is my how I imagine it. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was such a good idea for you to want experts to advise you on this. For to a little background, I don't know what, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something, I don't know. A few weeks ago, you asked me if I knew anyone who uh, could advise you on these things. And guys, the people watching will know these names. Pete Rollick is one of my panelists and really knows his stuff, as I said. And then Kenneth Haidt is widely recognized as an expert in the King in Yellow. He's got his own edition of the King in Yellow, annotated, as a matter of fact. So I don't know if you knew that, but it's really cool. It's not limited edition, nothing like that. But the draw there is that it's annotated. My point is, he really knows what he's talking about. So I think you're
You,
going to be
you, you
just
could
fine
you
on
could
the
see it in
screenplay.
the you could see it in the feedback that they really
Awesome,
they caught some details that I didn't even think about. So
awesome.
yeah,
And you've spent a lot of money on artists, but so worth it. This art is fantastic.
yeah, I'm very happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the interior art as well, because I come from a Call of Cthulhu background, and I reached out to Earl Geyer this summer and asked him, and didn't really think that he would be able to, but he said yes, and he did all the 10 illustrations for the interior, and it kind of reminds me of these old Call of Cthulhu scenarios that I played when I was younger. So it's
Yeah.
I like that part as well.
Now, if you're a regular listener of the podcast, you know how friend and co-panelist Matt Carpenter, he takes care of drawing for the prizes. So, for those out there who would like to win a copy, um, the email is ezineprizes@gmail.com, and that's easy prizes at gmail. And I put that in the side chat just now. So, so those are awesome prizes. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Always nice to give the viewers something. Um, so let's talk to you again, Wojciech, about your Kickstarter. And I have a feeling that my friend Mike DeBronzo here is gonna ask more intelligent questions
Well,
than I will.
that's debatable.
Should I afraid?
No, no, you're good. So, what do you, well, we could start with sort of the same thing, telling us about the project itself in a little bit of detail, and then I want Mike to take over with some stuff if you got some things, Mike. So,
Yeah.
all right. So anyway, yeah, tell us about the project.
Okay, project is this my small idea to creating something what allow people to understand how can we build the fear and how we can discover some mysteries. But I approached this in three different medium because I always like glue. I playing a lot of the RPG, but maybe not in the Dungeon Dragons, more Warhammer. Europe say hi. But two, of course, in the Cthulhu and different systems like the Vampire and Tessera. And I think, okay, I always want to create some games. I have some developer, Max, who working with me, and we create some small games on the mobile, etc. We're learning everything. But now it was time to create in the game. Okay, this should be game, and because I like building everything from the beginning, I decided this would be easy game. Easy game from the design and developing way. But to be honest, this is not so easy what I thought.
Mhm.
But then I decided, okay, I have a game, and this would be great if I can pass this game. I can do this puzzle in the game, understand this whole the story, but then I can go to the table, take this game, the story, and show this story how I see it and understand to my friends. This is how I created the idea for the scenario. Then in the scenario, you can take your friends and tell this the same story with different approach. And this is super for gym masters because they better understand story what they want to show to the own friends.
Right.
And end of this, I decide, okay, let's do one more thing. This comic. This means let's do backstory about some persons in the games and show them where they touch the Cthulhu mysteries or some of the stories. And then we're creating some stories when we have some audiobooks recorded on the YouTube, and then creating the comics. And now I have ideas for 3 next comics, and either we write some stories, and I have idea for next games. Then I creating some small universum, and I want to everybody show how we can approach to some mysterious problem with the madness and some building the fear what will stay with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Something's what I believe in the Lovecraft and Edgar we can find in this their stories. Yes, there's something what when I reading this I feeling.
Yeah.
This was my idea for this project, and like I said on before, then this project is only for the because we are the middle creation of the game. Comics will be ready end of this year. Scenario probably on the begin the next year we'll finish, and game we want to finish in the May next year. Then this Kickstarter is only this was opportunity to find people who want to test us, give us some feedbacks, and now we have a lot of the feedback. Even if Kickstarter was not so successful, but even we found the one guy who called to me, then now the translating demo game for the Japanese and Portuguese, yes. Then still I think I'm growing, even if this is looks is nice for me.
You're gonna make it. So let me just read this real quick because I forgot to say to you guys, later today in a couple of hours, I will put this up as the audio podcast edition, you know, for on Spotify, Apple, and so forth. So we'll reach even more people. Um, so let me read this here. Arkham is a city. I guess I don't have to keep doing that on the screen. Arkham is a city where nothing truly rests. Not the dead, not the memories, and certainly not the truth. Sorry, dry mouth. In the video game, you step into the role of Detective Claude Roland, navigating a slow-burning mystery through evidence, interviews, and the quiet dread creeping through every street. That's good writing. You examine crime scenes, sift through case files, connect clues on your investigation board, and try to hold on to your sanity as the case refuses to stay ordinary. Quote, Arkham looks tired rather than dangerous. People work, go home, and try not to think about the growing number of bodies. For Detective Claude Roland, the city is dull, predictable, and just enough to pay the rent. That ends when his colleague James takes his own life in the middle of an investigation. So, a string of suicides, each disturbingly similar. James dead without explanation. A file that should stay closed but refuses to. Claude gets the case almost by accident, and something in him refuses to walk away. If he does, he might follow James down the same path. This is the story you'll uncover step by step. One clue, one interview, one quiet dread, moment of dread at a time. Now, you told me in the beginning that the, the one thought you had is that people could play the video game and then, for example, a keeper, someone who wants to do the tabletop version, they could play the video game and then, you know, then they could run the scenario on tabletop for their friends. So,
Yes.
as a matter of fact, my friend Alan, I haven't told you this, Mike, but he and I are testing a Call of Cthulhu software, and it looks so cool. It's not Call of Cthulhu software, it's role playing. But anyway, you can play with friends all over the world, and it looks so fantastic and professional. Yeah, I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called. But we'll be playing Call of Cthulhu games on there, and then maybe Alan will run your game at some point in the future for the listeners. I mean, for the viewers.
This will be very nice
I'm
because the
looking forward to it.
scenario is not from point of view of the cloud, but from the point of view some war veterans,
Yeah,
and this is some Twitch story. But yeah, this will be, I think, uh, this starting like detective noir story. But I always see in the Lovecraft, then he never starting from the huge apocalypse or something like this. There's always, for me, there's always normal story with something in the background, yeah.
right.
And this exactly I doing the same. I don't want to throwing the monsters from 1 to 2
Yeah,
screen, but we need to understand that because I put this game in 1951, and this is 2 years after the big crash of the market.
hmm
United States, and I checking this historically in the United States, there was a lot of the suicides, and because the
Oh yeah,
people bankrupt and there was problem with the food, with everything, then this is why I put it as a police, because for police was the next case to the close, because every day someone's jumped from the window or hung out or something like this, and
yeah,
if they starting this normal day, they starting thinking about this, they need to check this some things, and some group of the people maybe start to using this for hide something more, yeah. And I use this historic background in the United States for the, okay, let's use this. I think this would be very cool if we put some historic, and even I put some Polish history in this game, and I mix this, and I think this will be very nice for both
right.
to discovering this type of the
And the
of
video
this.
game is in English and Polish, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, yes.
So, well, my
Even in the
friend,
full voice acting, yeah.
Oh,
oh,
nice.
great, yeah. Um, well, Mike DeBronzo, I know, is probably the most interested in the tabletop scenario. So,
Hey,
yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah,
it's a very ambitious project. I like that. You've got
Thank you.
3 significant parts, and it's multimedia. I also like the fact that you put it as agnostic, as far as the tabletop portion of it, right? So
Yeah.
it's not set to any set of rules. Can you talk about that a little more? Is it just the setup for the scenario, and you add, whatever system you're using to play that scenario, or just explain a little bit how that works?
We starting from the agnostic because we are was not sure where we can drive, which we can go with these scenarios. And for us, for me, most important always is story. Like the old Gym Masters, I always want to tell some story. Then, to be honest, the mechanics behind the scenario is not so important for me, because I believe in each mechanic I can play each this story. Of course, there's some mechanics giving us some benefits for this. Like I put update in the last weeks, the guys from Kaosu finally responds to me, and they allow to us upgrade to the put the with the Zev Cthulhu, Call of the Cthulhu mechanics, and we can put this in Miskatonic repository, yes, and
Yes.
then we can do this in their systems. But we have the base when we can put in every system what do you want, because I believe uh, this is the most important is the story. This is why we want to spend 70-80% of the books on the telling you about the all the localization, peoples, some puzzles, etc., etc. Then I believe in, then even if we put this to the Miskatonic repository, we still will be writing like this, when you can take this and put every system what do you want, because this was as our main goal. Of course, putting to the Miskatonic repository from the Hausium is big approach for us, like the company, to hit more people and interesting our ideas and our stories. But like I said in the update, when we finish this Kickstarter, I sent the question to all the people who support us, and we decide together. Because I like to discuss with the people what they expect from us. Because I always want to sell the story, not the mechanics, what behind of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miskatonic repository is a good place to put it because so many people use that. I mean, I've been using it for years for both Delta Green and Call of Cthulhu. I'm on there quite often just to see what's out there. So
Yeah,
that's a good.
and I
I'm sorry.
will
Go ahead.
add then with these scenarios, I want to use all the assets from the game. Then if this game, even if by only digital version, I want to give you PTL. Today I put on the update which we planning with the physical version, but this will be too accessibility for everyone who buy digital, but will be files. That's meaning separate photo, separate act, music, some PTL files for the print 3D. Even I today have uh, some example puzzle from the games.
Oh, nice.
What you like G Master, you can if you order the bigger version for now because I don't want to produce in the future, or to take the files and order some things when they can print for you. To give full immersion for GAM, to take this session, this scenario, and shows, okay, I have fit music. I have all the assets what I can show the people, maps, etc., etc., and only join the story. Not like sometimes you take the scenario and you need prepare a lot of the things to fully put on the table. You will get everything what you should have for this session. Of course, if you have imagination, you can put everything there.
That's
but
amazing. That's amazing.
this is
Yeah.
from the TTRPG, my ID.
Yeah, that's I appreciate that like that much work going into it and
Yeah.
that much thought. So that's great. Just out of curiosity, the computer game, like obviously the tabletop, you can adapt to whatever system you're using. When the computer game is that like a click and pick, like how does that work compared to like your regular tabletop role playing?
I combine three type of games. This visual novel because there's some story, point of clicks because we're finding some things and we need to combine it, and some puzzles. Then we have some like the example, you need to find to code to the safe. You need to put some logics puzzles to the togethers, and I have couple more ready for the act second and third. Then we combined three types of games to the one, and because for now we have a lot of the question to get more tips how to resolve some things games, but not everyone like this. But we are ready for this too, to possible to people to skip there. But two example, we have the mechanics on the acts, and you need to read the acts, point acts, and you need to read this and points directly places and things what you want to investigate, because I want to be focused on the game. This is not like the typical point and click, the click, 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 click everywhere, and you don't understand.
Yeah.
But I want to sell you the story, and this is was so important for me to voice acting, yes, because when someone reading for you, you are hearing this. I believe we have very good music. We have very good voice actors, and this is giving you the feeling that you are in this story. Yeah, there's still something.
Immersive.
Immersion of the everything. Yes, this give you energy. This is why if you're feeling this music in the game, then you will want to use this music for the your session.
Yeah.
And this will give you next, even you, like the GM playing this music, you will be some, I believe, flashback from the games. Because music will be connected with this what you saw in the game, yeah? Everything is, I try, and most things is, we have couple of hiding things, I don't want to tell too much. They are connected with all these free media connectings beyond the time and places. Then telling something like this. If you're looking for something longer in our game, you can see more things. Then
Right.
this is because this is a static game. This is not a dynamic game. But I always want this looking on the screen will be not so boring. Then I know that some people, and I know this from the test now, even we put down that some people find this, some not. But if I'm telling them back to this place and looks on the wallpaper in this place, oh my God. Oh,
Yeah, but
it's
finding those things in games and movies and so forth, it's so fun, you know?
Yeah.
And I just want to say real quick, it's very obvious that you feel really deeply about this project. That's really coming through.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
let me read the setup, and then I'm sure Mike has some little bit more or more, whatever. Uh, let's see. Nope, this is the comic. I need to get my shit
Yeah.
together. Oh, here it is. At the table, Veins in Arkham becomes a story about Great War veterans, World War One, who believed their nightmares were buried in the trenches. They share a secret, something they did together, something Arkham is now forcing them to face again. When the deaths in the city begin to echo their past, the group must decide what they are willing to risk to keep the truth hidden and what horrors will follow if they don't. So, here you have the detective in one edition of this game, and then here you have these guys seeing the murders
Yes.
in the city. So,
Yeah, but they are connected.
yes,
This storyline will be how to say it, connected and maybe crossing, but more like this. Even we're thinking about who will be bad, who will be good, because this can be possibility to put something like this in the scenario. Even because for the cloud in the game, I want to have minimum 3 ending.
okay,
Then I want to putting this, then players in the scenario can see these endings. Then
right,
funny thing is that GM can end this game in one way, and they all show some another way how this will end, or
right,
how he ends this. There's still some immersion, small immersions, but this all small points for me connecting to giving the huge fun for the G Master and the players, and end of the end discussion about the sessions, as always playing the scenarios, is something. Wow, what we miss? Well, what was should happening here or there?
yeah,
This is always for me a lot of fun to discussing about this. What this G Master hide from me? Yeah, what we don't find or what we fuck up.
yeah. I
That's the
just,
reason why I got into handouts in the first place, because I mostly played as a keeper, and it's so fun to hide these small clues in newspaper, police report, diaries, and kind of look at your players trying to connect the dots. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's an important part of the game, and discussing it afterwards as well.
Yeah,
I sent an email
There's
to my friend Alan, our games guy, and I was like, "You got to back this so we can do the RPG, the tabletop."
there's always points as a keeper you want them to find certain things. Like if you do this, it's really cool, but you can't like
Yeah, yeah.
spill the beans. So there's only so much you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
And
But
it's so annoying when they miss it, and you feel it's so
yeah,
obvious when you make it, but they miss it.
yeah, and for me it was obvious, yes, of course. For you, it's always obvious, yes, but for the players, it's not always so
yeah,
obvious, and this is why I like the give the players agenda, and we're thinking about this scenario to give them some like, secondary targets in the game,
Yeah,
because they meeting after war. They are some veterans, but always have some life back, yeah. And sometimes it's give if they you have advanced player to give them some agenda and say it's okay. But example, you don't want to believe in the Smiths. You don't want to believe everything. So you join to them because this is huge friendship. but you always need to convince them this is not true, this is not happening. And if you give good player, and he doing this in the session and you're playing, then this give you more and more feeling that okay, now is something different. Why we don't go there? Because the mic saying, "Oh, I don't believe this. Let's go to left." Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and he convinced everyone. Yeah, and this is something what I like into playing.
I'd like
Well,
to connect.
yeah, go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry,
Mike.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I was just going to say, like, as I was reading the description before we all met up, was I like that it was tied to World War One. I don't feel like that's a real good scenario, so to speak. That not a lot of I haven't seen a lot. The only scenario I can think of is it's called No Man's Land. Came out a long time ago from Chaosium. It was one of the convention games they ran, like a tournament game. I mean, you can get it on Miskatonic Repository. And that's set in World War One directly, like you're in the trenches. I like that without playing or knowing more than what we've talked about right now, that you've set that and connected it with that part in history. Because there's a lot, I mean, it was absolutely horrific. So it's perfect for a Lovecraftian game to mix in that. So
I
excellent.
believe it's not so even so not often this World War One, because this is very hard historic period, and this was very not so many dynamic things, to be honest, in
Yeah.
when you look into for the war, but it was dirty, hard, and full of the death. And a lot of people even now don't remember this. Even now, we stopping remember Second World War. Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
and this starting to be something terrible because people don't want to look into the historic facts. But now, backing to Great War, because I I put this my old peoples. Let's talking the Great War because no one called this in 1931 the second first world war. Yeah, they don't know they will be second. This was Great War,
Yeah.
and
Right. The war to
yeah,
end all wars.
Yeah.
yeah, and this was too important for me. Then let's put this on some small details. Yeah, for these guys, this was a great war. They would descend and they fight, even they don't know what for what. They back with some trauma, and let's see what will be happen if the people want to feel this. Yes.
Yeah. Modern warfare evolves from World War One because they're still
Yeah.
using 19th century tactics. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's one of the reasons you have so many people getting slaughtered. Besides, it's war, but it's just so.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to finish up. Do you have any questions that I want to ask Wojciech about the prizes he's given away? Any more questions, Mike? And then I want to go back to Eric for a minute.
No, I think I'm good for right now. If I think of something, I'll throw it out there.
Okay. And what do you want? What were you wanting to give away to viewers, Wojciech?
Yeah, like we said, the digital copy of the game, the scenario, and comics. Yes.
One of each. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We
That's
can then
great. Thank you.
because if someone wants to, if someone will have more questions, then catch me private and I will be reply to.
Eric, is there anything that maybe I didn't think to ask about your project that you would like to go over before we say goodbye?
Um, no, I think it's the book basically. Most people know the text. This is more about presenting the text in a way that I feel that it deserves, and then also trying to come up with a version of the play. And I'm sure that everybody have their own idea about what the play contains, and I'm very looking forward to the feedback on Act Two. And I think you have read draft number 4, Mike, so you're kind of seeing a little bit about what
Yes.
it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to feedback on that one.
I have a
But I'm
question to you, if I
Yeah,
can,
yeah. Go ahead.
Eric. I have thought because I working now on the limited edition of the comics, yes,
Yeah.
and Do you using some special papers, some lacquer, some the inside the book or the cover, which because I found brilliant paper when you how to say you feeling if you touching this, but it's just like we something like the let me use the translator this time.
That's part of
Roach.
kind of creating the collector's edition. So for this one, we're using a Swedish paper called Munken Premium, and it's got this eggshell tactile feeling. It's a very high quality paper, but that's also one of the reasons why it's pricey, because it costs a lot to include this type of papers.
Wow,
for
look
the
at this.
people, this only if you it's not always reading, but something touching the book. I know now in the electronic era, then people want to feel the story. Even if they're reading this, they want to back to the books because they want to feel in the hands and have possibility to immerse in everything. And it's great that you can put something like this. I think about the same in the comics. In the example, one page put in this comics because comics 32 pages is not too much to space for this like this. But in the book, I saw a lot of the paper, sort of small add-ons in the books, what can creating better feelings about this what we're reading.
That's kind of the hard part, because you need to try to convey that in text and in images on the Kickstarter page. But it's about the size of the book. It's a little bit bigger. It's 7 times 10 inches. You have nicer paper. You use a higher quality cloth on the cover. So it's about how it feels when you hold the book. So this is probably not the book that you will read when you're going to bed. It's staying on your shelf. But that's kind of the point about it, because I like reading. I've been reading a lot my entire life, and always liked having a few collector's editions of my favorite books. So,
this is their book,
yeah. That's kind of the goal, to make kind of the version of the King Yellow, and then you can always add more and more and more and make it, ridiculously expensive. But
well, you know what people are going to say to you later, right?
About
what's your next book going to be?
We have a few. We actually have 2 projects that
I like to call that a good
complete.
Okay, good. I like to call that a good problem to have.
Yeah.
People are like, I love this. When are you going to make something else? That's a good feeling.
Yeah, and I like that we have a community that can actually support these books, because I wasn't sure before the Kickstarter that it was large enough. So that's a good thing for the entire community, I think.
I wish Joe Pulver was alive to see this, Mike.
Yeah,
I don't know if
he'd be all over this.
Yeah,
he's doing good things. Do this.
Yeah,
Don't stop, please.
Yeah, he would go crazy over this, Eric. He was I don't know if you've heard the name Joseph Pulver, but
no.
He was considered the King in Yellow, basically the writer. He wrote a lot of King in Yellow related stuff. He did several, well, he did at least one anthology. No, he did several. He did Casilda's Song and a couple of others. But yeah, he'd go crazy about this. He'd love it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is tailor-made for Pulver.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys. Anything else that we need to talk about before we go? All right. Well, thanks for doing this. And again, for those watching live and on the next day or two, if you would like to get be entered into the random drawing, that's what it is, for Eric's project prizes or Wojciech's project prizes, the King in Yellow or the game, the Cthulhu Veins of Arkham. Send an email to ezineprizes@gmail.com, EZINE prizes@gmail.com, and Matt will randomly pick a winner. He uses random.org. He'll pick a winner in probably 5 or 6 weeks, and then we'll get that information to Eric and Wojciech. So
Is there anywhere people can follow you guys online? Like, do you have
good question.
websites, Instagram, Twitter, whatever?
Yes, I have. I don't know how really, Eric, but I believe too.
Yeah, I have a pretty cool. And we did it with the last project as well. When we ship the books, I always ask my followers if they know any groups or book clubs or anything that have how can I say it in English? Help promote Chambers or Lovecraft, and I sent out 10 copies from the last Kickstarter to groups like that for free as well. So that will be something that we'll do for this Kickstarter as well. But that will be groups that kind of promote and share with others. So.
What's great about having a successful project is the next project you can, send an email or, within Kickstarter to all those people who backed and say, you backed my first one, take a look at this one. Maybe you'll like it.
That's really important to start early and kind of
Yes.
get people involved from the start. So,
yeah. And same thing will be for you, Wojciech, whenever you get around to doing your next Kickstarter. So
and I must say, Wojciech, I got 2 preschool children, and I work and I do this books on the side. So getting a game like this where I can, play on my own, because it's very hard to kind of organize all the logistics and everything with my other friends that also got kids. So it's nice with projects like this that you can just sit down one evening and experience. So I'm sure it will be very successful. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be too. Something tells me it will be. All right. So, Mike, thanks. Eric and Wojciech, thanks for doing this. And we'll keep pushing it until both projects are over. And like I said, I'll put the audio up in just a few hours. You guys will be in bed by the time, but it'll be up. So.
But thank you for
I have 3
inviting
kids,
us.
and this is not so easy. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Is it almost is it almost 9 o'clock there?
It's 10 in the evening.
10.
Almost 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But thanks for having us on, Mike. I've been watching your show before, and it's very cool to be involved like this and being invited. So.
Oh,
I need to thank you, Eric and Mike, because if not Eric, I would not know Mike.
Both mics.
Yeah. From today to both mics, but this was nice storytelling.
I'm glad, Wojciech, and you deserve the success. Both of you do. And Eric, I didn't know you'd seen the show. I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. So thanks everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day or your evening in you guys' case. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.